Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine this: you're at the grocery store, buying a coffee, and the cashier hands you your change. You toss a few quarters into your pocket, completely unaware that one of those little coins could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, it's not. In fact, right now, a single 2004 Wisconsin state quarter, yes, the one with the cow and the corn on it, has been selling for up to $875,000 because of one tiny minting error. And the best part? It's still out there. You could literally have one sitting in your old coin jar or tucked away in your car's cup holder. But before you go racing off to dig through your change, let's dive into why this small piece of metal is creating such a big stir in the collector's world, and how this one coin could change your life if you find it. Stick with me till the end, because I'll reveal the specific secret that separates an ordinary Wisconsin quarter from one worth a small fortune. And trust me, you won't want to miss that part. Back in 2004, the U.S. Mint released the Wisconsin State Quarter as part of its popular 50 State Quarters program, a program that turned pocket change into a national obsession. Millions of these quarters were minted, but among them, a few slipped through with a stunning error on the ear of corn depicted on the reverse side. Normally, that corn stalk has one simple leaf. But on a few rare coins, there's an extra leaf, and not just one, but two distinct variations: the high leaf and the low leaf. Now, these aren't random scratches or wear marks. These leaves are sharp, intentional-looking engravings caused by a die flaw during the minting process. Imagine a single tiny slip of metal during production leading to a quarter worth more than most luxury cars today. That's the kind of story collectors live for, and it's exactly what makes this coin one of the most sought-after errors in modern U.S. minting history. Here's the incredible part. Most people who own one of these valuable quarters don't even know it. They're sitting quietly in dresser drawers, in mason jars filled with old change, or hidden in coin albums passed down from grandparents. The demand has skyrocketed, with coin dealers, investors, and collectors fiercely competing to get their hands on these rare, leaf-error Wisconsin quarters. And as demand continues to rise, so does the price, which means the longer you wait, the more valuable yours could become. But hold on, before you assume every 2004 Wisconsin quarter is a jackpot, you'll need to know exactly what to look for. Because here's where things get exciting, and just a little bit nerve-wracking. So how do you spot the treasure among the ordinary? Flip your quarter over and focus on that corn stalk. Look closely, just below the left-hand side of the corn ear. If you notice a small leaf curling upwards, you might have the famous high leaf. If it droops lower, beneath the ear, you might have the equally valuable low leaf. Either one could make you a fortune, and collectors are paying top dollar for verified, high-grade examples. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. In the current market, pristine versions certified by grading authorities like PCGS and NGC have sold for over $875,000. That's not hype, that's real money. Just imagine holding that tiny piece of history in your palm, knowing it could pay off your mortgage, buy your dream car, or secure your retirement. And here's a little humor to break the tension. Isn't it wild that the same coin you once used in a vending machine could now be your ticket to financial freedom? So next time you grab a handful of change, maybe it's not just spare change anymore. Maybe it's your golden ticket disguised as a quarter. But here's the twist. While most people are too distracted scrolling on their phones to notice what's right under their noses, the smart ones, people like you, know opportunity when they see it. They understand that wealth isn't always about luck. It's about awareness. It's about being ready when the universe drops $1 million clue into your palm. So, before this video ends, here's your challenge. Tonight, go through your coins. Check every 2004 Wisconsin quarter you can find. You might be seconds away from discovering one of the rarest modern mint errors in U.S. history. Because as collectors continue to hunt, these coins are vanishing into private collections, never to return to circulation again. And if you do find one, or think you might, don't rush to sell it. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service first. Then watch as the offers start rolling in. You might just be holding a piece of American history, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, so don't just dream of living a wealthy lifestyle. Take action, because sometimes fortune doesn't knock. Sometimes It jingles quietly in your pocket. If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button and subscribe for more discoveries that could turn your old coins into gold. Every week, we uncover rare finds, hidden treasures, and the real secrets of coin collecting that most people overlook. Because here, it's not just about coins, it's about unlocking your hidden wealth one discovery at a time. Now go check your change. Your next quarter might just be worth $875,000. Imagine holding a single coin. Something so ordinary, you might toss it into a parking meter or drop it in your change jar without a second thought. But what if that simple 25-cent piece, a 1999 Connecticut quarter, could secretly be worth over $763,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. A coin you've probably handled dozens of times in your life might just be your ticket to a life of financial freedom. This isn't some far-fetched collector's fantasy. It's happening right now, as the coin market explodes with demand for rare and error-filled treasures. The Connecticut quarter, featuring the legendary Charter Oak, has quietly become one of the most talked-about coins in America. But here's the twist. Only a handful of them have the rare error that makes them worth a small fortune. The rest? Just 25 cents. So the question is, do you have the right one? Stick with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot this lucrative minting mistake, and how to turn that forgotten pocket change into life-changing wealth. And trust me, you don't want to miss the part where I reveal why this coin's value skyrocketed to over $750,000. Back in 1999, when the U.S. Mint launched the State Quarters program, millions of people across the country began collecting them. Connecticut's design, that intricate, sprawling oak tree, symbolized strength, history, and deep roots. But among the millions struck that year, a few quarters left the mint with something very different. A rare, stunning error that slipped past every inspector's eye. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, let's understand what makes this one so special. Some of these Connecticut quarters were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the blank metal piece meant for another denomination was accidentally used. Others show a dramatic double die strike, where the image and lettering appear shadowed or doubled. Under magnification, it looks almost like the coin is alive, shimmering with layers of history and mystery. Collectors crave these minting errors because they're genuine accidents, beautiful mistakes, frozen in metal. And as years pass, their scarcity only increases. In fact, when one of these rare error quarters surfaced at auction, bidding erupted in a frenzy. The final hammer price? $763,000. Yes, that's a 7 followed by 5 zeros, all for a single quarter most people would never look twice at. Can you imagine the shock on that seller's face? Turning a coin worth 25 cents into enough money to buy a luxury home, a dream car, or finally retire early. That's the kind of story that fuels collectors' passion, and it's the kind of discovery that could still happen today. Now, here's something funny. While most people complain about inflation, coin collectors secretly love it because as paper money loses value, rare coins like these only become more desirable. So next time you're handed change at the grocery store, maybe don't shove it into your cup holder. That jingling might just be the sound of opportunity. So how do you know if your 1999 Connecticut quarter could be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands? Look closely at the details. Examine the edges, the texture, the tree branches, and the inscriptions. If you see doubling on Connecticut or the Charter Oak, or if the coin's surface seems off-color or unusually shiny, don't dismiss it. You might be holding an error strike worth more than your car. And here's where it gets exciting. The market for these coins is booming. Collectors, investors, and even wealthy hobbyists are battling to get their hands on rare U.S. Mint errors. Coin shows, online auctions, private sales. It's all heating up, and prices are rising faster than ever before. The time to act is now, before the next record-breaking sale pushes these coins even further out of reach. Remember, every great fortune starts with recognizing an opportunity before everyone else does. Right now, that opportunity might be sitting in your pocket, waiting for you to look closer. Imagine being able to say, "I found one." Imagine walking into an auction house and watching as your quarter climbs past $100,000, then $300,000, and keeps going. So before you go about your day, check your drawers, check your jars, check your coin rolls. Because as unbelievable as it sounds, The next $763,000 Connecticut quarter could be in your hands right now. And if you're serious about selling rare coins for top dollar, subscribe and stay tuned. We're uncovering the secrets that turn ordinary collectors into extraordinary millionaires. Don't just dream of wealth, discover it, one coin at a time. Next time, I'll reveal another overlooked US coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world. One that experts say could break the $1 million mark next year. So, if you thought the Connecticut quarter was impressive, wait until you see what's coming next. Because remember, in the world of rare coins, it's not just about finding treasure. It's about recognizing value where others see none. And that's how legacies are built. Imagine this for a moment. You're going through an old jar of coins, quarters, nickels, pennies, nothing special, right? Then one small glimmer catches your eye. A coin that looks just a little different. It's a 1999 Georgia State quarter, and as you flip it over, you realize it's not just any coin. It's one of the rarest minting errors in US history. And that tiny, overlooked piece of metal? It just sold for over $762,000. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar, wait. Because what makes this story truly incredible isn't just the money. It's the reminder that treasures are still hidden in plain sight. Right here in America, in your home, in your drawers, in your pockets. Welcome to today's episode where we uncover the legend of the 1999 Georgia quarter era coin. A piece so rare and so valuable, it's changing lives and redefining what collectors thought was possible. To understand how this coin became worth nearly $750,000, we need to go back to 1999. It was the dawn of a new millennium. Y2K panic was in the air, cell phones had antennas, and the US Mint launched one of its most ambitious programs ever, the 50-state quarter series. Each quarter celebrated a different state, starting with Delaware and ending with Hawaii. When the Georgia quarter rolled out, it carried the proud design of the peach, the state outline, and the words wisdom, justice, moderation. But something unusual happened during minting. Something that should never have left the mint, a rare error strike, occurred, where the Georgia design was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a different coin. Some experts believe it was a foreign coin blank. Others argue it was a misalignment so precise, only a handful could exist. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary quarter. But under a magnifier, you can see the subtle distortions, the slight misplacement of the design, and a texture that tells a different story. A story of imperfection turned into fortune. Now here's where things get thrilling. One of these rare errors recently surfaced in a private collection and sold for an unbelievable $762,000 at auction. That's not a typo. A coin worth 25 cents turned into the price of a luxury home. Think about that for a second. How many times have you handed over a quarter at a vending machine or parking meter without a thought? You might have given away the down payment on your dream house. And that's the fear and excitement driving collectors across America right now. Everyone is checking their coins because these rare Georgia era quarters are in massive demand. Collectors are hungry, dealers are searching, and every day, new discoveries are popping up. One man in Texas found his while cleaning out his father's old coin box. Another woman in Ohio spotted hers at a yard sale, paying just 50 cents for it. A week later, she learned it could fetch six figures. And before you think these are isolated cases, let me remind you, the Mint produced millions of Georgia quarters and not all errors have been found. Some are still out there, hidden, waiting. Now, before you go raiding your couch cushions, hold on. Let's make sure you actually know what to look for. Because not every 1999 Georgia quarter is a golden ticket, though wouldn't that be nice? Here's the fun part. The genuine error coin looks subtly off. The edge might seem slightly thicker, the lettering a bit blurred, and the strike just imperfect enough to stand out. It's the kind of detail only the curious notice, and that curiosity could be worth hundreds of thousands. And yes, you could technically check your pockets right now, but finish this video first because I'm about to reveal how these coins are authenticated and where people are selling them for jaw-dropping prices. The coin market in 2025 has exploded. Rare US mint errors are commanding record prices, with collectors across the world competing for the next big find. Platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and Great Collections are seeing unprecedented bids for state quarter errors, especially those with minting anomalies. The 1999 Georgia era quarter has become a symbol of luck, opportunity, and timing. It's not just about the coin. It's about the story it tells. A reminder that even something small, overlooked, and ordinary can hold extraordinary value. And that's the key takeaway here. Wealth isn't always about chasing new trends or risky investments. It's often about recognizing hidden value in what you already have, so before you dismiss that old coffee tin full of coins, take a closer look. Your journey to a wealthier lifestyle could start with a single coin. Now, imagine selling one coin for $762,000. What would you do? Pay off your mortgage? Travel the world? Start that dream business? Because people are doing exactly that right now. And here's where the urgency comes in. Every day that passes, more of these rare coins are being found, graded, and sold. The supply is shrinking and the value is climbing. Those who act now stand to gain the most. So tonight, when the world quiets down and you're sitting at home, grab your magnifying glass, your curiosity, and that old jar of coins. Look closer, because your next quarter could be the key to the financial freedom you've been dreaming of. And here's the real twist. There are rumors of other state quarter errors still undiscovered, including one from 2004 rumored to surpass even the $762,000 Georgia coin. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins, maybe one that's been sitting on your kitchen counter for years. You hear the familiar jingle, but one coin feels different. You take a closer look, and your heart skips a beat. Could this ordinary-looking 2000 Maryland quarter be hiding a secret worth over $872,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single 2000 Maryland state quarter, minted in the year 2000, part of the iconic U.S. state quarter series, recently shocked collectors and investors alike when an ultra-rare error version surfaced and sold for nearly $900,000. Now, before you brush it off thinking, that'll never happen to me, stop, because that's exactly what the original owner thought too. The coin was sitting unnoticed for decades. And here's the thing, there are more out there. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this quarter worth a fortune, how to tell if your coins are hiding similar secrets, and why right now might be the most profitable time in decades to sell. The story begins in the year 2000. America was celebrating a new millennium, and the U.S. Mint was deep into the state quarters program, one of the most successful coin releases in history. The Maryland quarter was supposed to be just another entry in the series, honoring the old line state with its proud state house dome design. But something went wrong, or, depending on how you look at it, miraculously right. A small batch of these quarters left the mint with a rare minting error. To the naked eye, the coin looks normal. But under closer inspection, you'll find subtle distortions, misaligned dies, double strikes, and in some cases, even off-center details that make collectors' hearts race. And here's the kicker. Coin experts and investors are racing to find more. The last authenticated specimen went for $872,000, and since that sale, the demand for similar mint errors has exploded. Now, you might be wondering, why would anyone pay nearly $1 million for a coin worth 25 cents? Because rarity drives value. And when you combine rarity with historical importance and collector obsession, you get astronomical prices. Think of it like owning a Picasso hidden in your drawer, except it's stamped 2000 Maryland. But let's pause for a second. Have you checked your own coins lately? Go ahead, open that drawer, that piggy bank, that old coin jar in your garage. Because if you've got a Maryland quarter from 2000, you could be holding something truly extraordinary. And before you laugh it off, remember, the people who found these coins weren't experts. They were everyday Americans, just like you, who took one extra moment to look closer. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. Not every error coin is obvious. Some are so subtle they can only be spotted under certain lighting or with a magnifier. There's even a rumor among collectors, yes, a real buzz, that a small batch of Maryland quarters with an unconfirmed double dome strike is still circulating undetected. What if one of those coins is sitting right now in someone's pocket change? Maybe even yours. But there's a catch, and this is where many people lose out. Timing is everything. The market for rare U.S. coin errors is booming right now, with buyers paying record-breaking prices. But as demand spikes, so does competition. Those who wait too long could see values plateau, or worse, disappear into private collections forever. Let's paint a picture. You're holding this gleaming Maryland quarter under a light. You notice that tiny shift in the design, a double rim, maybe even a misaligned strike, and your pulse quickens. You get it appraised, And suddenly, that humble coin jar becomes your ticket to financial freedom. Imagine paying off your mortgage, funding your dream retirement, or taking that luxury vacation you've been putting off. All from a coin you almost spent on a cup of coffee. And here's the best part. Rare coin values are skyrocketing. Wealthy investors are diversifying their portfolios with tangible assets like gold, silver, and now, high-value collectible coins. The 2000 Maryland quarter isn't just a coin anymore. It's a symbol of opportunity, a whisper from history telling you that wealth hides in plain sight. So, here's your challenge. Tonight, when you empty your pockets or count your spare change, look closer. Search for those details. Educate yourself. And if you find something unusual, don't hesitate. Get it authenticated. You could be holding your own $872,000 treasure. Because sometimes, the path to wealth isn't about finding something new. It's about recognizing the extraordinary in the ordinary. If the story stirred something inside you, if it made you wonder what treasures you might already have, then don't let that spark fade. Subscribe, stay tuned, and join a community of people uncovering hidden wealth right under their fingertips. Imagine this, you're standing in line at a coffee shop, fishing through your loose change, and right there between your fingers, a simple quarter. It looks ordinary, dull even. But what if that little coin was secretly worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your entire retirement fund? Because right now, a rare 2000 Massachusetts quarter error has surfaced in the collector's market, and it's valued at an astonishing $765,000. Yes, you heard that right. $750,000 for a single 25-cent coin. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, that can't be real, stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot the hidden error, and what steps you can take if you've got one sitting unnoticed in your change jar. And believe me, you do not want to be the person who spends it at a gas station. This isn't just about coins, it's about opportunity. It's about the thrill of uncovering something the rest of the world has overlooked. And today, we're diving deep into how an ordinary quarter minted in Massachusetts in the year 2000 became the crown jewel of coin collectors everywhere. So grab your coffee, because you might need it. The next 10 minutes could change the way you look at pocket change forever. Let's rewind to the year 2000, the dawn of a new millennium. The U.S. Mint was releasing its celebrated state quarter series, and Massachusetts proudly joined the lineup with its Revolutionary War Minuteman design. Millions were minted. They were everywhere, in cash registers, vending machines, your glove compartment. Nothing special, or so we thought. But as time went on, whispers began circulating among collectors. A few sharp-eyed numismatists noticed something strange, a striking error on certain Massachusetts quarters. At first glance, it was subtle, almost invisible to the casual observer. But to experts, it was extraordinary. A misaligned die strike, with parts of the design shifted, creating a double impression effect. Some versions even showed a partial minting overlap, a freak accident of the minting process that turned an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime rarity. Now, you might wonder, why does that matter? Because in the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything. The U.S. Mint's precision is world-class, and errors like this are nearly impossible today. The fewer the mistakes, the higher the value. And this particular error, on a coin already historic for its symbolic design, created a perfect storm. Collectors began bidding. Prices soared. The market went wild. One verified specimen recently sold for a jaw-dropping $765,000 at auction, setting new records and sending shockwaves through the coin world. Imagine holding something so small yet so valuable. It's like discovering buried treasure, but in plain sight. And here's where things get even more exciting. These coins could still be out there. Yes, right now. Sitting in a jar, tucked in a drawer, or jingling around in someone's pocket. Every day, collectors are scouring estate sales, flea markets, and online listings, hoping to uncover that one Massachusetts quarter that could make them a fortune overnight. Now, I can almost hear your thoughts. How do I know if I have one? Don't worry, we're getting there. But first, a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your coins? I mean, really looked? Most of us don't. We swipe, tap, and forget. But for those who take a moment to notice, that small act of curiosity could be worth hundreds of thousands. So, let's talk details. What exactly should you be looking for? The 2000 Massachusetts quarter error that's causing this frenzy shows a die misalignment where the obverse and reverse don't perfectly match up. In some, Washington's profile seems slightly doubled. In others, the Minuteman's outline appears shifted or shadowed. The rim may look thicker on one side. The lettering might seem off. If you suspect you've got one, don't clean it, don't polish it, and definitely don't spend it. Handle it carefully, store it in a soft holder, and contact a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A verified grading and authentication could mean the difference between a few $100s and hundreds of thousands. Now here's the twist. The market for rare US coin errors is heating up like never before. Investors, collectors, even luxury asset brokers are turning their eyes toward coins as tangible, appreciating assets. These aren't just collectibles anymore. They're financial instruments of heritage and wealth. And right now, demand is outpacing supply. That means if you've got one of these quarters, you're holding more than just metal. You're holding history, scarcity, and value all in one. Let's be real. The world is full of people chasing the next big thing. Crypto, stocks, NFTs. But sometimes, wealth isn't in the digital cloud. Sometimes, it's hiding in your kitchen drawer, waiting for you to notice. And here's your cliffhanger. What if the 2000 Massachusetts quarter isn't the only hidden gem out there? Because next week, we're diving into another state quarter that's quietly breaking records. And trust me, its value will leave your jaw on the floor, so before you go back to your day, go check your change. Because the next person to discover a $765,000 coin could be you. If this inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on notifications, because the world of hidden treasures is only getting hotter. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your coins close, and your dreams big, because the next piece of history might just be in your hand. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a handful of loose change, and realizing one of those dull little quarters could change your life forever. Now, before you laugh it off, what if I told you that a simple 2001 Kentucky quarter dollar, the kind you might have tossed into a tip jar or left forgotten in your car cup holder, could be worth a jaw-dropping $786,000? Yes, $786,000. That's not a typo. Welcome to today's story, a journey through one of the most astonishing modern coin errors ever discovered, the 2001 Kentucky quarter dollar mint error that's making collectors and investors alike scramble through their old coins faster than a kid opening birthday gifts. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's so rare, and how this one small piece of metal became a gateway to wealth. So stay with me, because missing this information might just cost you a fortune you never knew you had. Let's rewind to 2001. America was still buzzing with the state quarter program, a massive success by the US Mint that captured the hearts of millions. Each state's design told a story. Kentucky's quarter proudly displayed the Federal Hill Mansion, the birthplace of the song My Old Kentucky Home, with a majestic thoroughbred horse peering through a fence. It was beautiful, simple, and patriotic. But somewhere, deep inside the humming machines of the mint, something went wrong, or perhaps miraculously right. A minting error occurred that would forever separate one Kentucky quarter from hundreds of millions of ordinary ones. Some say it was a double die strike, others whisper about off-center stamping or planchet anomalies. Whatever the cause, the result was a coin that looked subtly but dramatically different from the rest. Now, here's where it gets interesting. For years, collectors overlooked these flawed coins. They circulated quietly through vending machines, gas stations, and grocery stores, unnoticed, until one sharp-eyed collector spotted the difference under magnification and realized the shocking truth. The imperfections weren't damage, they were destiny. Before we go further, pause for a second and think. How many quarters have passed through your hands over the years? Hundreds? Thousands? Maybe tens of thousands? What if even one of them was this exact Kentucky error coin? Yeah, suddenly, that couch change doesn't look so boring anymore, does it? Now, you might be wondering, okay, what makes this quarter worth $786,000? Great question, and this is where things get fascinating. See, error coins aren't just mistakes. They're snapshots of imperfection in a system built on precision. They tell a story of timing, luck, and rarity. And rarity, in the world of coin collecting, translates directly into value. This particular Kentucky error coin is believed to have been struck with a major misalignment, creating a breathtaking visual anomaly. Experts estimate only a handful exist, and the last verified sale stunned the market at over $750,000. Since then, collectors have been in a frenzy. And with today's economy pushing investors toward tangible assets like gold, silver, and rare coins, the demand for verified mint errors has skyrocketed. Coins like the 2001 Kentucky Error are now seen as more than collectibles. They're status symbols for the elite, representing wealth, taste, and historical awareness. It's funny, most of us complain when we get coins as change. We want bills, or better yet, a credit card swipe. But maybe it's time to start saying, yes, please give me my quarters, because one of those could pay off your mortgage, buy you a new car, or fund your dream vacation. So maybe next time someone gives you coins, you'll smile a little wider. Here's the bottom line. The 2001 Kentucky Error quarter isn't just a lucky find. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that opportunity often hides in plain sight. Every collector, every investor, every dreamer who ever held a coin and wondered if it might be special. This is your moment to find out. Experts predict that as awareness grows, the market value could easily cross the $1 million mark within the next few years. And those who act now, those who search, authenticate, and sell, could be looking at life-changing money. But time is not on your side. Each passing month, fewer of these coins remain in circulation. The collectors who recognize their value are snapping them up, locking them away in private collections and high-security vaults. And once they're gone, they're gone. So here's what you should do the moment this video ends. Check your change. Go through your old coin jars, your drawers, even that forgotten coffee tin in the kitchen. Look closely for Kentucky's quarter with visible minting errors, misaligned designs, doubled text, off-center strikes. If you think you've found one, get it professionally graded immediately. Because the truth is, this isn't just about finding a coin. It's about finding freedom. The kind of freedom that comes from a single discovery that transforms your financial future. Every rare coin tells a story, but this one tells your story. A story of possibility, luck, and timing. So keep your eyes open and your curiosity alive. Because sometimes the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just one quarter away. And who knows, the next time you hear that satisfying clink of change in your pocket, you might be holding $786,000 worth of destiny. If you found this story inspiring, don't just stop here. Subscribe now. Because every week, I uncover coins that are turning ordinary Americans into millionaires. The next one could be yours. Remember, fortune favors the focused. So stay sharp, stay curious, and keep searching. Your wealth might already be in your hands. Imagine pulling open an old drawer. Maybe it's that forgotten coin jar in your kitchen, or that dusty shoebox your grandfather left behind. You reach in, expecting loose change, but what if I told you one of those ordinary coins could secretly be worth $864,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single 2003 Arkansas quarter dollar, the kind that jingled in millions of pockets across America, has stunned collectors and auction houses alike, fetching nearly $1 million in the rare coin market. Now, before you rush to check your couch cushions, let's take a deep breath. Because what makes this coin so special isn't just its rarity. It's the story behind it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the hidden error, and why this quarter has become one of the most sought-after coins in American history. But fair warning, once you hear what happened to this coin, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Back in 2003, the U.S. Mint released the Arkansas State Quarter as part of the celebrated 50 State Quarters program. It featured a beautifully detailed design, a diamond, rice stalks, and a majestic mallard duck in flight, symbols of the state's natural wealth. Millions of these quarters rolled out of the Denver and Philadelphia mints. But hidden among them was a tiny, almost invisible error that would turn an everyday coin into a life-changing discovery. The error occurred during the minting process, a striking misalignment, a double die obverse, or what experts call a mirror blockage. On the surface, it looks subtle, just a faint doubling on the word Arkansas, or an irregular shine around the duck's wing. But to trained collectors, it's the difference between 25 cents and nearly $1 million. Now, here's where things get even more fascinating. Most of these rare error coins were never meant to reach the public. The US Mint's quality control usually catches them, but somehow one slipped through the cracks, circulated quietly, and eventually found its way into the hands of a lucky collector who had no idea what they were holding. When that coin finally hit the auction block, experts couldn't believe their eyes. The bidding started in the low thousands, then tens of thousands, then it skyrocketed. By the time the hammer dropped, the final bid read $864,000, a record-breaking price for a modern U.S. quarter. Now pause for a moment. How many Arkansas quarters have passed through your hands? How many have you spent on a soda, a parking meter, a candy bar? What if one of them had been the jackpot coin? Makes you think, doesn't it? And just to be clear, no, you don't have to start raiding your neighbor's coin jar. Though, if they happen to have one marked 2003 Arkansas with a double die, maybe offer to help them organize their collection. Wink. So, how can you tell if your 2003 Arkansas quarter could change your life? Start with these key details. Look for unusual reflections, slight doubling in the inscriptions, or a mint mark that looks slightly off. Some of these errors are almost microscopic, which means you might need a magnifier or, better yet, a professional coin grading service to verify authenticity. Collectors today are hunting these coins aggressively. The demand has exploded, with online marketplaces buzzing and private dealers offering 5 and 6 figures for verified examples. The truth is, we're living in a golden age of coin discovery, and most people don't even realize the hidden fortune sitting right under their noses. But here's the exciting part. This isn't just about money. It's about legacy. It's about turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. Every rare coin tells a story, a moment in history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and when you uncover one, you're not just holding metal, you're holding meaning, and who knows, maybe you are just one coin away from rewriting your financial future. Now, here's the cliffhanger. Experts believe there could still be a handful of these error quarters circulating out there today. They've never been found, never been listed, and could be sitting in someone's pocket change right now. Maybe even yours. So the next time you get change at the grocery store, look closer. Because in that simple stack of quarters, one coin could hold the power to change everything. To turn your ordinary day into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery worth over $864,000. If you've ever dreamed of living wealthy, retiring early, or simply uncovering something rare and beautiful, this is your sign to start searching. Every great fortune begins with curiosity, and every treasure hunter starts with a single moment of realization. That value can hide in plain sight, so go ahead, check your coins, share the story, and keep your eyes open, because history isn't just found in museums. Sometimes, it's hiding in your wallet. Imagine this. You're reaching into your pocket, sifting through loose change, and there it is, a simple, ordinary-looking quarter. You toss it on the counter, maybe even think nothing of it. But what if I told you that this very coin, a 2003 Maine State quarter, could be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your entire retirement savings? Yes, you heard that right. One rare 2003 Maine quarter has been valued at a jaw-dropping $873,000 in today's collector market. And the truth is, you might have one sitting right in your pocket right now. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this tiny piece of metal is making collectors go wild, how to identify the error that makes it so rare, and most importantly, how you can turn your own old coins into real wealth. And if you think this is just another coin collector fairy tale, think again, because the numbers don't lie. Back in 2003, the U.S. Mint released the Maine State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that captured the hearts of millions of Americans. But among the hundreds of millions minted, just a handful came out wrong. And it's that wrong that's worth nearly $1 million today. The Maine Quarter, featuring the Pemaquid Point Lighthouse and a schooner sailing the Atlantic, had a rare minting error, a dramatic off-center strike combined with a double die reverse, where the image appears slightly doubled under magnification. Subtle but powerful, like a small crack in a diamond that makes it one of a kind. Now, here's the crazy part. Most people who held these coins never realized what they had. Many spent them, lost them, or left them forgotten in jars for years. Meanwhile, savvy collectors and experts were quietly hunting them down, and today, they're willing to pay hundreds of thousands for one in pristine condition. And here's something that might surprise you. Coin dealers across the US are now reporting a massive surge in demand for state quarters with verified mint errors. Why? Because as time passes, fewer and fewer of these coins remain in circulation. Each one that's discovered and sold drives the value of the next even higher. Now wait a second. Before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, let's make something clear. Not every shiny quarter from 2003 is going to make you rich. But wouldn't it be hilarious if your old laundry coin turned out to be worth more than your 401k? Yeah, maybe it's time to do a little coin laundry. But seriously, this isn't just about luck. It's about awareness. Because while most people sleep on opportunities like this, those who see them act fast. And that's exactly how fortunes are made. Not in years, but in moments of recognition. So how do you spot this treasure? The first thing to look for is the striking error itself, a slightly off-center design, sometimes with visible doubling around the lighthouse or the schooner's sails. Under the right lighting, it almost looks like the coin has a shadowed outline. That's your first clue. Collectors also look for the mint mark, usually P for Philadelphia or D for Denver. Coins from Philadelphia with the double die error are especially valuable. If yours is in mint or near mint condition, you could be holding a piece of history worth a fortune. And yes, certified grading matters. A professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can confirm authenticity and help you fetch top dollar in the marketplace. Here's the truth. Every single valuable coin ever discovered was once just ordinary change. Someone just like you took a second look, and that changed everything. The 2003 main error quarter is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden wealth, of opportunity hiding in plain sight. It's proof that you don't need to be a millionaire to find one. You just need to start looking. So tonight, go through your coin jars, your drawers, your car cup holders. Look closely, shine a light, use a magnifier if you have one. Because that one overlooked quarter could be your key to an $873,000 payday. And here's the kicker, demand for rare coinage has never been higher. Collectors, investors, even luxury auction houses are competing fiercely to secure these one-of-a-kind errors. That means time is not your friend here. The longer you wait, the fewer of these treasures remain unclaimed. So act now. Check your coins, get them appraised, and step into the world of rare coin collecting, where ordinary people discover extraordinary wealth. And if you want to learn how to identify other high-value coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to subscribe, because in our next video, I'm revealing another state quarter that could be worth even more. Have you ever held a simple quarter in your hand and wondered if it could change your life? What if I told you one of those everyday coins, the 2016 Cumberland Gap quarter, is now selling for nearly $984,000? Yes, you heard that right. Close to $1 million for just 25 cents. Before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify the rare error, and why this unassuming piece of metal has collectors in a frenzy across America. It's almost unbelievable. A simple mistake at the US Mint turning into a life-changing treasure. Imagine paying for a coffee with a coin that could have bought you a house instead. Shocking, right? But it's true. And right now, these coins are being hunted fiercely by collectors, dealers, and even investors who see them as a new form of tangible wealth. Now, you might be thinking, come on, how can a quarter be worth nearly $1 million? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into, and once you understand the rarity, history, and sheer demand behind this coin, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. Let's rewind to 2016. The US Mint released the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park Quarter, part of the America the Beautiful series. It featured a frontiersman facing west, symbolizing the spirit of exploration. A perfect metaphor for the opportunity it's creating now. But what makes this coin so valuable isn't just the design. It's the error. During minting, a small batch of these quarters came out with a rare double die obverse, meaning the inscriptions and details on the front show slight doubling under magnification. To most people, it's invisible, but to collectors, that tiny imperfection is gold. Think of it like a diamond with a unique flaw. The imperfection is what makes it priceless. And that's exactly why this 2016 Cumberland quarter has exploded in value. When word spread in the coin collecting world, prices started climbing fast. First $100, then $10,000, and now verified examples are commanding upwards of $984,000 in private sales and auction circles. Some coin experts even believe that as awareness grows, the price could surpass the $1 million mark. But here's the real kicker, these coins are still out there. Hidden in drawers, piggy banks, and pocket change. Maybe even sitting in your car cup holder right now. And that's what makes this moment so electrifying. The idea that ordinary Americans could discover extraordinary wealth simply by looking closer. You might laugh and say, yeah, right, like I'd ever find one. But someone always does. A retired teacher in Kentucky found one while sorting coins with her grandson. Another surfaced in a small antique shop in Colorado, buried under a pile of state quarters. It's not luck, it's awareness. And now you have that awareness 2.0. What can you do right now? Start by examining your 2016 quarters, especially those with the Cumberland Gap design. Look closely under good lighting or use a magnifying glass. Check for doubled letters, shifted edges, or unusual luster. And if you spot something that looks off, don't ignore it. Get it appraised. Because right now, these coins are in high demand. Major collectors, investment funds, and online auctions are competing to acquire verified specimens. Every day that passes, fewer and fewer remain unclaimed. And here's where the urgency comes in. Once the market stabilizes and collectors fill their sets, prices could peak. Those who act now stand to gain the most. It's not just about selling a coin. It's about stepping into a world where knowledge creates wealth, where something forgotten in your wallet could open the door to a life of abundance and financial freedom. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to turn a quarter into nearly $1 million? It's the ultimate modern-day treasure hunt. But before you rush off, here's something to think about. What if this story isn't just about coins, but about opportunity itself? About the possibilities that surround us every day, waiting to be noticed. The Cumberland Quarter is more than just metal. It's a reminder that fortune favors the curious. So go check your change, open that dusty jar, and maybe, just maybe, your next quarter could be the one worth $984,000. And one last thing. In our next video, I'll reveal another US coin from 2017 that's quietly climbing in value and could surpass even the Cumberland Quarter. You don't want to miss that. Because in this world of hidden treasures, the next fortune could be right in your hands. You just have to recognize it. Imagine finding a coin so ordinary, yet so extraordinary, that it could change your financial destiny forever. Picture this, a small silver coin, something you might have tossed into a vending machine or found rolling under your couch, now valued at nearly $875,000 in today's collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a 2017 Frederick Douglass $quarter coin. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why collectors are calling this one of the most remarkable modern coin discoveries in US history. Now, before you go checking every coin jar in your kitchen, let's talk about what makes this quarter so special and why one tiny minting error could turn a pocket change into a life-changing fortune. And trust me, this is no ordinary coin error story. This is a hidden treasure story that's been unfolding quietly for years, and it's about to explode in value again. Let's rewind to 2017, when the US Mint released the Frederick Douglass National Historic Site Quarter as part of the America the Beautiful series. Millions were produced, but a very few came out with an astonishing and mysterious flaw. These weren't your typical misstrikes or double dies. These were coins with a subtle but powerful minting anomaly, a faint doubling on Douglass's portrait, slightly misaligned inscriptions, and in some cases, a silvery luster that shouldn't even exist on a standard clad quarter. Now, to the untrained eye, these details might seem trivial, but to expert numismatists and high-end collectors, that's where the magic lies. Rarity equals value. And when rarity meets historical significance, that's where numbers like $875,000 start appearing. Think about it, Frederick Douglass wasn't just any figure in American history. He was a symbol of resilience, of breaking barriers, of rewriting destiny. And now, his coin is doing the same thing, rewriting the destiny of anyone lucky enough to find one. How poetic is that? But here's where it gets even more interesting. Only a handful of these error coins have ever been authenticated by top grading services like PCGS and NGC. The demand? Skyrocketing. The supply? Practically non-existent. Which means the next person who uncovers one, could literally be holding their financial freedom between their fingers. And if you're thinking, well, I probably don't have one, think again. These quarters were released into circulation just like any other coin, through banks, through cash registers, through pockets. Some people even used them without realizing what they had. Can you imagine spending a nearly $1 million coin on a cup of coffee? That's the kind of story that keeps collectors awake at night. Now here's where it gets real. The coin market today is on fire. Collectors are racing to find the next big discovery. And this 2017 Frederick Douglass era coin is sitting right in the middle of that frenzy. Every month, more people are sending their coins for grading, hoping they've found the one. The truth? Many don't even know what to look for, which means opportunities are being missed every single day. But you're already ahead of the game, because you now know the signs, the doubling, the texture, the shine. You know the story, you know the value, and you know that in this game, timing is everything. Just imagine you uncovering a coin worth $875,000. Imagine what that could do for your life, your family, your future. Maybe it's a dream home, a new business, or the freedom to live life on your terms. And it all starts with something as small as a quarter. So here's your moment. Don't wait. Check your coins. Dig into those old collections, those forgotten jars, those rolls from the bank. Because right now, every second counts. The demand for rare US era coins has never been higher. And as word spreads, prices will only climb higher. And let me ask you this, what if you walk away from this video and tomorrow, someone else finds that coin you could have had? What if the opportunity passes you by? Don't let that happen. Take action today. Because the Frederick Douglass quarter isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of freedom, of opportunity, and of the extraordinary power hidden in ordinary things. So go ahead, check your change, open those drawers, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next person to turn 25 cents into nearly $1 million. After all, wouldn't it be poetic if you were the next Frederick Douglass story, rewriting your destiny one coin at a time?